here we go. 3, 2.
This is Nick.
This is Jack.
Welcome back. It is Monday, December 2nd, and today's pod is the best one yet. This is a T-Boy.
The top 3 pop business news stories you need to know today.
You know, Jack, people are still talking about my chocolate mousse pie. It's still a thing.
Is that so?
I heard, there's a rumor going around. That's just what I hear.
Was that your contribution to the Thanksgiving dinner?
It was a little more than a contribution. It was, I would say, a highlight. Although I'm assuming you organized like 12 games of charades before dinner was over.
True. After dinner charades games, fishbowl specifically, yeah. Best thing to do by a fireplace. It's like my dream night.
Jack's undefeated in fishbowl, according to Jack. Yetis, welcome back. Jack and I prepared the 3 fantastic stories for you. What do we got on the pod, Jack?
For our first story, Uncrustables, the crustless peanut butter and jelly sandwich, is now a billion-dollar brand.
Because Uncrustables became the unofficial snack of the NFL locker room.
For our second story, with both stocks and crypto at all-time highs, we've got our first ever Mullet Market.
The stock market looks like a mullet. Fundamentals in the front, party in the back.
And our third and final story is Klarna. Klarna just used the most intense form of artificial intelligence we have ever seen.
Because Klarna turned 1/4 of their staff into artificial intelligence.
But before we hit that wonderful mix of stories.
Honestly, fantastic mix to come back from a long weekend, Jack.
Welcome back. You're probably still covered in some oil from that turkey or that stuffing or Nick's mousse dessert thing.
Or you're covered in that oil from that cheese dip watching the football games.
Well, maybe you shouldn't clean that oil off.
Because the new beauty trend, Yetis, is the oil bath.
Specifically, crude oil baths.
That's right. Pause the pod. Soak your body in a whole bathtub of black petroleum oil. That's the trend, baby.
This is actually happening in spas in the Middle East, even though it sounds like the dirtiest thing we can imagine.
And yet these oil baths were designed to get you clean. I mean, Jack, you got to sprinkle on some context for us over there.
Last week, the World Climate Conference, COP29, was held in Azerbaijan.
Interesting host because Azerbaijan is one of the most oil-dependent countries on the face of the earth.
60% of this Middle Eastern nation's income comes from the sale of oil.
But get this, besties. Azerbaijan has so much oil that they are bathing in it, literally.
It's a true story. At spas, they're not putting you in baths of olive oil. They're putting you in baths of dark, murky, black petroleum oil that none of us encounter, like, ever.
Jack and I got curious. We jumped in T-Boy style, saw the pictures. It looks like that scene from Dune, Jack.
I know what scene you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a hot tub of petroleum. That's what you're bathing in, baby.
It's like a spa run by Sunoco.
It's like a Texaco jacuzzi.
I'll order the 50-minute gasoline treatment, please.
Yetis, this is wild. This oil remedy goes back 800 years. Marco Polo even did it on his travels.
And apparently, this rare crude oil bath is a dermatologist's dream.
That's right, because one specific hydrocarbon in the oil is already used to treat skin conditions like psoriasis and eczema.
So ExxonMobil, they shouldn't be pumping gasoline. They should be selling skin cream.
Yeah, OPEC, it's the new CeraVe, baby.
But warning, Yetis, cleaning that oil off? It's gonna take many a towel.
Yeah, you're gonna need a barrel of West Texas towels to get that thing clean, baby.
You're gonna need a fire hose for like 20 minutes before it's all off you.
Yeah, you're gonna need a barrel of West Texas towels to fully clean yourself off, Jack.
Yetis, if any of you are taking oil baths,
good luck. Just don't light a candle. That's all we gotta say. Jack, let's hit our 3 stories.
15 years before this song, 2 boys from the Northeast met in the dorm. They had an idea that caused a cultural storm. It's the best one yet, but the best is the norm. Jack, Nick, that's it. I don't even think they need to practice. 50%, that's a fat tip. T-Boy City on your at-list. If you know, you know, cause we ready to go. We can't wait no more, so just start the show. Start the show.
For our first story, Uncrustables, the crustless peanut butter and jelly sandwich innovation, is about to become a billion-dollar brand.
And it's all thanks to the Baltimore Ravens eating 8,000 of them last season. 8,000 boxes.
It's a true story. But Yetis, while you were enjoying turkey, the best performing stock over Thanksgiving week, Jack, I think it was Smucker's. It's got to be Smucker's, right?
J.M. Smucker, the $13 billion food company, popped 10% on Tuesday after announcing earnings.
They're now worth 2 lifts. Smucker's, they actually own your parents' pantry, don't they, man?
Smucker's owns a whole bunch of brands. Folgers Coffee, Hostess Snacks, Meow Mix, and a bunch more.
But The highlight profit puppy of the Smucker's portfolio in your pantry is Uncrustables.
Uncrustables, the sealed, crustless, frozen peanut butter and jelly sandwich thing that you let thaw and eventually eat.
Now, some call the Uncrustables the American empanada.
Others call it a calzone for the cool kids in the cafeteria.
My dad calls it a savory Twinkie. Sometimes he calls it a nutty dumpling. We go whichever one he prefers.
Either way, it was invented by two fathers in North Dakota who designed it specifically for the Midwestern school cafeterias that they grew up around.
But get this. In 1998, the wife of a Smucker's executive saw that Uncrustables sandwich at her kid's lunch table.
Before you know it, the company acquired Uncrustables for $1 million.
Honey, buy this brand. Our kid can't stop eating them.
Smuckers, they already own Jif peanut butter and Smucker's jelly. They might as well put them together into these round pockets of Uncrustable goodness.
Sandwich synergies. You can't beat them. But Yeti's sales grew for Smucker's slowly until about 10 years ago.
10 years ago, Uncrustables started some hockey stick growth. They started going Gretzky.
Because 10 years ago, sales went from $100 million to nearly $1 billion this year. Not too shabby.
Demand is so high, Smucker's built a giant factory in Alabama just for Uncrustables. We call it the Gigafactory.
PB&J is getting some serious ROI.
So Yetis, how is a 26-year-old sandwich-ish business growing like a software startup right now?
Well, Jack and I got curious. We jumped in T-Boy style, and the answer is NFL football.
Travis Kelce said on his podcast that he eats more Uncrustables than any other food.
Yeah, true story. Travis Kelce cooks Uncrustables for Taylor Swift. That's how she loves them.
NFL players used to eat Campbell's Chunky Soup all the time. Now they're eating Uncrustables every day.
In fact, the Baltimore Ravens football team has Uncrustables constantly stocked in their locker rooms to fuel their players. How many did they eat every week, Jack?
I don't know, but they had 7,500 boxes last year. That's a lot of boxes.
We repeat, the Ravens are expensing Uncrustables at 7,500 boxes a year. It's a write-off, baby.
And unlike Campbell's Chunky Soup, which was a paid product placement and ad campaign, these are all organic sales to NFL players.
And once fans learned that their favorite players are eating Uncrustables, they added Uncrustables to their carts as if it were an ad.
So leave the orange slices and electrolytes at home. Uncrustables is the new Gatorade. It's what the pros are eating.
The NFL is why sales of Uncrustables are 10xing right now. America doesn't run on Dunkin'. Football runs on Uncrustables. So, Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddies over at Uncrustables?
You don't have to build the atomic bomb to become a billionaire.
Yetis, our favorite part about this business isn't the peanut butter, the jelly, the football, or the Gigafactory. It's a quote from the Uncrustables founders.
We were making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, not an atomic bomb. That's what they said.
In fact, those two dads, they said they invented the first Uncrustables while pounding beers in their garage.
They chose the circular shape for Uncrustables because they were inspired by the moon and the sun and because they had been drinking a couple beers.
Deep. Yetis, in a world of cutting-edge AI, $500 million fundraisers, big tech competition, it is refreshing to hear this story of entrepreneurship.
Because the thresholds for innovation can feel higher than ever right now.
And yet Uncrustables is a reminder that there are still simple ideas out there just waiting for someone to do it.
Uncrustables isn't even a patented technology. The trademark office said, no, you can't patent that. All they made was crustless peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
They're like, yeah, you can't protect that because our moms all make these things.
The founders of this brand simply took a risk, invested some cash, got to work, and slowly crafted what became a billion-dollar idea.
Uncrustables shows us you don't have to build the atomic bomb to create billions. For our second story, the stock market that we're in right now, it's unlike any we've ever seen. It actually looks like a mullet.
It's a mullet market. Business in the front, party in the back, future completely uncertain.
Now, Yetis, in order to prepare for this story, Jack and I spent the whole weekend looking at the great mullets in history. And we got a few right here on the whiteboard, Jack. I'm looking at Patrick Swayze, Jaromir Jagr, Princess Diana. I think Princess Diana falls in this category, too.
Is that right?
It was like a 2-year period where she was, experimenting with hair.
Oh, that's what Buckingham Palace was so upset about.
Yeah, as Barry Melrose told her, it's not a look, Diana. it's a lifestyle.
Okay, hockey guy.
Okay, but besties, if you have money in the stock market right now, that money, it looks fantastic.
Get this, the S&P 500, an index of the 500 biggest stocks in America, it's up 50% in the past 2 years.
In fact, each of the major 3 stock market indexes are at all-time highs, and for good reason. And what is that reason, Jack?
The fundamentals look fantastic.
The fundamentals, the most important driver of stock prices is corporate profits.
And America's companies are more profitable than ever right now.
Oh, and it's not just their current profits, future profits, they look even rosier, Jack.
Trump is expected to extend his corporate tax cut, which for every company would be like a 20% profit gain with the signature of that pen.
So Yetis, add it up, and those are some pretty solid fundamentals.
The stock market, it's all business when you look at it from the front.
But besties, here's what Jack and I are noticing. So the front of the stock market, it looks business approved, but the back, it is all party, baby.
A crypto party.
Oh, it is a crypto party because crypto prices are also at all-time record highs.
Ethereum is up 40% this year. Bitcoin has doubled this year.
In fact, Jack, Ben the Bitcoin, our buddy, he's flirting with $100,000 for the first time ever. 6 digits.
Dogecoin? It just got a government agency named after it.
Oh, in fact, after 3 years, Robinhood stock has rebounded up past its original IPO price.
People are having fun swiping on crypto buys at 2 a.m. again.
In the club, we all family investing in crypto together. I believe that's the saying, Jack.
Oh, how about this sign of the times? On Tuesday, I got a notification from Robinhood saying that they had added some random meme coin called Dog with Hat.
Dog with hat.
It probably blew up on day one.
Stick that in your kid's 529, Jack. Now, Yetis, on the front, the markets, they look profesh.
Record profits and record outlook are driving record stock prices.
And on the back, markets look to party.
Doge Dogger 420 is giving market advice on X again.
And that's why this is truly a mullet market.
That's how you got to think about this market we're in. It's a mullet.
So, Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddies who are everyone in the stock market?
Here's the question. Is this a Kurt Russell mullet or a Joe Dirt mullet?
Good question, Jack. Now, Yetis, the mullet market, it actually defies conventional rules of finance.
Because we know investors do not like uncertainty. Uncertainty represents risk.
But here's the problem. This coming trade war, it presents some pretty big uncertainty. Like, how will countries react when we tariff them, which we already said we're going to do?
Also, there's a very real risk of inflation coming back, with tariffs being the reason prices go up.
Oh, and then, Jack, if prices rise, will the Federal Reserve stop lowering interest rates? And then, if they don't lower interest rates, what will happen to mortgage rates? Will the housing market ever come back anytime soon?
If inflation spikes, the Fed might have to increase rates again.
So, besties, right now, the stock market, it looks like a good mullet, a good stock market mullet.
It's a Kurt Russell mullet. It's big, it's handsome, it's confident. You could put this guy on the red carpet in a tuxedo, and that mullet would still look good.
It's like your oil masseuse. It's big, handsome, and confident. But the economic future, it's got some big question marks, doesn't it, Jack?
Yetis, it's those big economic uncertainties that could turn this market from a Kurt Russell mullet to a Joe Dirt mullet.
Hey, Yetis, if you're a bestie, take a sec and hit that subscribe button.
And like this video while you're at it. If you leave a comment, by the way, we'll read it.
For our third and final story, this Black Friday, Klarna, the buy now, pay later financing company, was more popular than ever.
But Klarna's real surprise is using AI in the most aggressive way we have ever seen.
All right, Jack, let's whip out the rankings over here. Second biggest tech startup in Europe, who we got on the big whiteboard.
Sweden's Klarna, the buy now, pay later company.
Yeah, the Swedes, they've got some good tech going on. And this month, Klarna actually filed confidentially to go public, to IPO.
And like Jurgen, the exchange student, Klarna is coming to America.
Yeah, Klarna chose the New York Stock Exchange. They want to IPO in Q1 at a $20 billion valuation. It's about 3 lifts.
Now, the business model of Klarna is self-explanatory and honestly kind of unoriginal.
Yeah, basically, they spread out payments, kind of like infomercials used to, right, Jack?
Yeah, remember OxyClean? You could pay $100 now or 5 easy payments of $19.99.
Yeah, Billy Mays didn't want to make you pay up front. Billy Mays was like, get me back in 2 months, 3 months, and on the 6th month of the year.
Why are the payments always easy, by the way?
Yeah,
Well, either way, Klarna does the easy payments part. They spread out your payments instead of making you pay up front.
Now, here's Klarna's business model, Yetis. They make money by taking fees and charging interest when you make a late payment on a buy now, pay later.
Just like credit card companies. And you've probably noticed buy now, pay later with Klarna on checkout pages, which can be tempting.
They've strategically noted right where you could pay that, in fact, you could pay later instead.
And with pinched wallets, the Associated Press expects record numbers of buy now, pay later this holiday season.
In this economy, Gen Z is buying that cute top now, but they're paying for it later. They're turning Klarna into a verb.
But there's actually something quite novel to Klarna's business model that we haven't mentioned yet.
Good point, Jack. And what is that?
Artificial intelligence.
In fact, a very intense use of artificial intelligence. Yetis, Klarna, they actually just boasted a surprise profit because of how they used AI.
They're using AI to cut their biggest costs aggressively.
Get this. Klarna's customer service chatbot was actually developed by OpenAI, and they use that chatbot to replace 700 workers.
And Klarna's not shy about that. They're actually boasting that they replaced 700 customer support workers with one chatbot.
It's almost like they've turned this into a marketing campaign. Jack, didn't they release like 4 separate press releases about replacing 700 human workers with AI?
I think the marketing campaign is to potential investors because they're bragging that they're using AI to lower costs and boost profitability.
Honestly, Bezies, this is a brazen use of AI to eliminate workers that we never see and you never see.
They're pretty unapologetic about 700 people being laid off by this one bot whose sole goal is to boost profits.
Pro tip, Klarna, when you are cutting jobs for AI, maybe don't turn it into an advertising campaign.
But Yetis, what Klarna's doing is the beginning of what could be the biggest trend in corporate America.
And there's one perfect way to explain it. So, Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddies who are Klarna?
Ozempic exists for corporations. It's called AI.
Now, Yetis, so far, the big winners of artificial intelligence, it's been a handful of tech companies, the ones hitting trillion-dollar valuations.
But next year, every company could benefit from AI if expensive workers get replaced by bots.
Scott Galloway, he called this corporate Ozempic. Like, you take some AI, you inject your company with it, and very quickly you cut costs, and then your profitability, it looks fit.
Using AI, Klarna's sales, marketing, customer support, and operations expenses fell by 15%. That's some serious and pretty instant weight loss.
That AI, it was corporate Ozempic. And this trend, Bessies, this will be fantastic for profits and stocks out there, but it is concerning for people in areas like customer support.
Like with previous technological breakthroughs, repetitive tasks could be the first ones affected. So they'll have to look to retrain.
Either way, AI, it's like a weight loss drug for business. AI is corporate Ozempic. Jack, could you whip up the takeaways for us to kick off the week?
Uncrustables have 10x'd sales in the past decade, thanks to popularity with NFL players.
Uncrustables, they're about to be $1 billion brand, but it didn't require splitting the atom.
For our second story, we're experiencing a mullet market. Stock business in the front, crypto party in the back.
Yeah, right now it's a Kurt Russell mullet. But the big question is, could this become a Joe Dirt mullet?
And our third and final story is Klarna. They're trying to impress Wall Street with aggressive AI chatbots replacing workers.
Corporate Ozempic, it exists, and it's called artificial intelligence.
But Yetis, this pod's not over yet. Here's what else you need to know today.
First, the Biden administration is in a race to help clean energy companies, and their new focus is Rivian.
The White House has money from the Inflation Reduction Act that President Trump may try to revoke.
So the White House is basically giving $6.6 billion of the money from that act as a loan to Rivian.
And they're doing it in a rush. They want to help Rivian build that second factory in Georgia.
And second, chemists created the world's thinnest spaghetti. Although we should point out, they are not going to eat this spaghetti. They're going to use this spaghetti for medical research.
This spaghetti is 372 nanometers wide, which means it's invisible to the naked eye.
Hey, waiter, are you sure the pasta's in this dish? Like, I can't even see this thing, man.
No, Nick, they'd use it for medicine because these little spaghetti starches, they could help heal wounds when used in bandages.
That's really angel hair pasta, like literally angel hair pasta, Yetis. It's spaghetti, but it's not for eating.
It's going to fix your wound like an angel.
Probably doesn't taste that great. And finally, Cyber Monday is today. But the big question, where did the term Cyber Monday come from?
It was coined in 2005 by a lobbying group.
Yeah, it was actually invented by shop.org, which is the online arm of the National Retail Federation, which wants you to shoppy until you droppy.
And that lobbying has worked because Cyber Monday is now bigger than Black Friday.
You know what, Jack? You know what they should rebrand it to? I bet it's going to be Mobile Monday. Like more orders placed from your phone than just like on a web browser.
Yeah, they could do that.
Yeah, let's see the data later this week. Maybe we do a story on that.
Maybe we will.
Maybe we will. Now, time for the best fact yet. This one whipped up by Jack and me to kick off your Monday.
It's a trivia question, actually. Steve Jobs is known as one of the best innovators of all time.
His product unveils, they are copied by business leaders all over the world.
But who did Steve Jobs copy?
Who was Steve Jobs thinking of when he did his first big product unveil?
Tomorrow, we drop a new episode of The Best Idea Yet on a company whom Steve Jobs saw as his role model.
And a founder who Steve Jobs saw as his idol.
We want your guess, though, in the comments right now. What company and what man inspired Steve Jobs the most?
We'll reveal the answer tomorrow. In the meantime, drop those comments. Yetis, you look fantastic today. Jack, you're looking fantastic, but I still got one question that I've just been itching at since the beginning of the pod.
Yeah.
What do they do with all the crusts?
You know, I actually looked this up.
Is there a product that's just crusts?
No, the company uses the crusts for animal feed.
You're kidding.
So it becomes like dog food.
Which then fertilize the land, which leads to more peanuts. It's like a circle of life kind of thing.
Yeah, it is.
Uncrustables, the first circular product in America.
Somebody call Elton John. It's the circle of life.
Yetis, if you haven't yet, share today's show with someone who just can't stop eating peanut butter at your office or your life. Tell them HYHTBOY.
Have you had the best one yet?
If you know, you know.
Nick and I will see you tomorrow.
Can't wait. And before we go, congratulations to Yeti's Connor Knapp and Ella Knapp, who just got married at the Orlo House and Ballroom in Tampa, Florida. They're already in Iceland for their honeymoon, and Jack, their corgi, can't wait to see him when they get back.
Happy birthday to Kelly Sanders in Houston, Texas, who's got her own custom dance for the T-Boy intro song.
She's dancing right now, and Noah Polanski in Laurel, Maryland has got a new job as a land acquisition manager. That's a lot of power right there, Noah.
Congratulations to Neil Dave in New York City, who's getting married and is right now on a bachelor party in Tulum.
He's the Maverick of LinkedIn, and he's a proud HYHTBOYer.
And happy birthday to Tyler Stringham in Mesa, Arizona.
Tyler, have the best birthday yet.
And to anyone else who's celebrating something today, make it a T-Boy.
Celebrate the wins.
This is Jack. Nick and I both own stock of Robinhood, and we both own some Bitcoin. And Nick owns some Ethereum.
Named Ethel. Although, Jack, now I need a glass of milk because my lips are stuck together.